So I've been doing a ton of shadow work. I mean, I feel like all of 2020 was shadow work because I spent almost every single day with my daughter, and she is a master healer. She's just a magical being of light. But anybody who's spent time with her knows how she knows how to really dig in to core issues and make you watch your thoughts, your speech, your actions, and just is a powerful, masterful worker. But that's a lot of shadow work. I've also been doing a lot of my own shadow work, and then on top of it, using medicine when necessary to go in there. And I had a pretty intense and profound medicine ceremony 2 weeks ago. Or was it only 1 week? Wow, I think it's only been 1 week. And it was, it was really, profound. I was able to go deeper into shadows that I haven't explored. Oh, look, I got a sparkly on my face. Oh, it must be from my headband. But I went into deeper parts of myself that I haven't explored because it's like peeling back an onion, it's the levels that you can handle and the information that you can handle. And, as I've been peeling back this onion, I have been able to release and let go and transform and forgive and do all the things. And because of that, I was able to go into a place where I have never been. I've consciously thought about it, and there's parts of me that have known, and I see it in my daughter. But it's, those scary parts of myself when I was a child, and the lack of support that I got and how I handled it and how I handled the world. And I see that transpire in my daughter because she carries these molecular scars and she doesn't know why. There'll be times where she's screaming and then she apologizes and she's like, I don't know why I'm screaming. And it's because I was screaming at that age for a reason. I had trauma that, caused me to act like that. And I never felt safe in my body. I never felt safe on earth. I didn't feel safe in school. I didn't feel safe with my family. I didn't feel safe here in this universe. I didn't feel safe here in this life. And, it's interesting because I never really, I understood it because I can look at my life and say, okay, this happened, and that's why. But to go into that feeling from a child when I was a child, 3 years old, and feeling this way, that's a pretty intense emotion. And it's a pretty scary emotion. And, that's where I was. And it was totally fine because this is exactly the point, of my life where I can handle that. I can handle that shadow work. I can handle feeling those things. It transformed my experience within my heart for myself and for my daughter because I hadn't been able to relate to her on that level, understand what she's going through because I couldn't feel it within myself. But now that I can feel it within myself, I have even more compassion for her and even more ability to relate to her and help her through this. But what I didn't expect to happen was to have other narratives kind of be dislodged from me. So while I was able to handle that emotion, and that was what I was experiencing during my medicine ceremonies and after, and while I was able to come to terms with it and understand it and do something with it, what I didn't realize was this undercurrent of fear and safety, like not feeling safe, and there was just this undercurrent that was dislodged, that was brought to the surface, where I, again, was not feeling safe. Now, I felt safe at home with my family. Yes, I feel safe here on earth because I love the earth. I feel safe in my body. I'm embodying my body. I feel safe in this universe because I feel like I'm finally expanding and understanding, and I understand why all that trauma happened. And I get it, and I feel safe. So where was this undercurrent coming from? This undercurrent of lack of trust, lack of safety. And, it was manifesting in terms of scarcity narratives, not having enough, not having control of like being able to produce enough. And this was mostly dealing with money because I have been in, this transition now for a period of time. And I have been using my savings for it. And yeah, I'm getting to a point where I'm starting to look at that and be like, okay, am I really able to do this? Am I really able to rewire and become a new person and live this life that, where I have trust when I don't have the security that I'm used to having in order to feel safe? One of the ways that I started feeling safe in life was knowing that I had my own money and I didn't have to rely on others, and I could take care of myself. I could make a lot of money, and these were things that I could control and make me feel safe. And I have been now getting into my body and feeling safe in my body. I've been doing it by really taking control of my health, really, doing the work on, those parts of my body where it could have been a downfall and a slippery slope, where I let medicine intervene and really just not take care of myself. I've been able to, transform my life through that. So how did I do that? Well, I had access. I had access to things. I had access to healers. I had access to natural foods, organic foods. I had all these things cost money. And no matter how we want to live in life, there's money to pay the bills, but then there's also the money it takes to live a healthy life and to live a life that you want to leave an impact on this earth that's beneficial for the earth. And I just started to question. I started to question everything. And then I was like, oh my God, I need to make money. How am I going to make money? I'm not doing the things. I am not doing what I'm being told by, society and some of my business mentors, like posting every day and really putting myself out there all the time and really, really promoting myself. And it's because there's a part of me that does it, but I do it based on a vibrational state. I do it when it feels good, when it feels right, when it feels aligned. And I have trust. And I'm also doing the work. I'm writing books. I'm working with clients. I am really, embodying my own practices. And I have been really refining and getting in touch with myself and discovering so much more. And there's so much work that I've been doing that's been amazing, but it was this undercurrent of what am I going to do with it? Because I do such strange things and I do a unique thing, and I deal with gut healing and abundance and life and soul purpose and trauma, and how do all these things link together? And, I felt like I was nothing. I felt like I was questioning my purpose, my role here on earth. I wasn't feeling safe. I was not feeling safe. And it was then coming out as a scarcity narrative. It was coming out as this idea that I didn't have enough. And, it took such a simple shift in my consciousness to really propel me out of this narrative. And it was so simple. I was working out. So I've been having this problem where I've been chastising myself for taking care of my body. And sometimes that means resting when I need to rest. Sometimes that means working out. Sometimes, whatever. It's just that I've been chastising myself for maybe not doing enough and giving my body some rest. And, that's meant that I don't work out as much. And, sometimes other things are off. Maybe my meditations are shorter. But I'm doing it. And after feeling well rested, after giving myself that time, I went back to my routine and it felt really good. And during the routine now, I was incorporating some of the things that I had been learning, which is something as simple as saying I am affirmations whenever I can. So what's an I am affirmation? It's putting I am in front of these qualities and these situations that you want to embody. I am safe. I am the embodiment of the highest vibrational of unconditional love. I am a master of my thoughts. I am the master of my reality. I'm impeccable with my words. I am an inspirational speaker. These are just words that you speak, but in the I am affirmation. And so during my workouts, my morning workouts, especially when we're doing like repetitive movements and cardio, and maybe they're a minute long, and the movement can get repetitive and boring, and I don't want to be thinking like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to do this. So I use my I am affirmations during that time, because if I'm focused on the I am affirmations, my mind can't think about, I don't want to do this. And that's the whole point of having a mantra. The whole idea of a mantra is to occupy your mind and occupy your thoughts. And that way you don't focus on other things, and you're actually focusing on an affirmation that helps you. And so, I was saying a whole series of them. And, I suddenly had this thought at the end of my workout. It was the series of I am affirmations that led me to feel empowered and was allowing me to have positive thoughts come through. And this thought comes through that I haven't connected with my higher self in a little bit of time. Now, after breath work, I would usually ask my higher self if there was any messages for me that day. And for some reason, I just kind of fell out of that practice of asking. And so I just, I was out of breath here at this, but my body was very oxygenated from all the workouts. So I asked my higher self, were there any messages for me? How can I transcend this issue of scarcity? And what do I need to do to get out of it? And the message was so simple: trust and surrender. Now, I feel like I've been on this word of surrender for, such a long time now, really trying to understand what it means to surrender, to go and flow with the universe, to be with the universe, to just feel like everything is okay. Well, it means that you have to trust. You have to trust that everything is okay. You have to trust the universe. You have to trust that, everything is working in your favor. And while I consciously believed those things, there was obviously a shift that needed to happen in my core belief, because I had this undercurrent that I wasn't safe. I wasn't safe. Wasn't safe here on earth. I wasn't safe in my body. I wasn't safe in this universe. And therefore I had to control. And I had to control by determining how I was going to make money, and about how much money I had in the bank account. And I needed to have money coming in, and this was the only way. When I realized that I had been doing the work. Here I am saying I am affirmations while I'm working out. I meditate, I work out, I'm doing the things that are right for me. I'm writing my book. I am posting when I feel like it. I am speaking with inspiration when I'm ready to. I am doing the steps, and maybe it's not the, I'm not achieving as much as I place on myself, but that's the point. Like, I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself, and there's, I'm moving forward a little bit every day, and that's what it takes. It takes that step forward, and I am changing my vibration. And so I have to trust that the universe is recognizing what I am doing, and therefore is aligning with me. I am changing this timeline, this pathway that I'm on. Because, we have so many possibilities of our future, and it depends on our free will choice. What action do we take in this moment that is going to change the direction of, or choose the direction that we go in the future? How are we going to get to our end goal? We can take 1,000 different roads, and there's nothing wrong with any of the roads. Some are a more scenic route. Some are, a rest stop. There's lots of different avenues there, and there's nothing wrong with the avenue that's taken. And for me, I just know that if I want to achieve certain things within myself and within my life and what I want to do, then I need to do a little bit. And I need to listen to myself and listen to my body and listen to the universe. And that's what I've been doing. I've been doing it. So I've been doing the work. And it's about letting time happen so that the universe can match where I am going. It has to rearrange. It's like this giant puzzle piece, and it's like the pieces have to be arranged to form a new picture, because I am changing my vibration. I am changing where I am. I'm changing the trajectory of my future, and I have to believe that everything will work out in divine timing. This is the trust. This is the trust. And the question is, do I trust myself? And do I trust the universe? And I am saying yes. Yes, yes, yes. I am trusting. I am trusting what is happening. And I am trusting that it is happening in my favor. Because I have lived through so much life. I have lived through so much. I didn't get here to this point of happiness to just sink back and question it all again. There is a greater purpose to this. And I trust that it's always working in my favor. Now, this is not just me. It's everybody. It's working in everybody's favor. I'm not special. Nobody who's had good things happen to them, nobody who's made it, none of these people, they're not special. We are all capable of this. And it's about doing the work to get there. And that does mean shadow work. That means going into those parts of yourself that you really don't want to look at. You don't want to see. They're not fun. I mean, I don't want to go there. I don't want to see all these parts about myself, but like, they're necessary. I mean, part of it is to learn how to relate to other people. Part of it is to learn your own behavior. Part of it is to know what you transform. And a lot of it is just to forgive yourself. I mean, we're so hard on ourselves. And so I forgive myself when I look at myself, and I'm honest about who I am and who I've been, and I'm honest about where I want to be and what I want to do. And there's just so much. We have to do shadow work. We have to take risks. We have to trust. And you know, it starts off in baby steps, and it starts off like you don't have to do it all at once. It's incremental steps. It's not about suddenly selling everything and becoming a yogi and living in the mountains. It's about just taking a step forward. My path to get where I am has been one step at a time. It started with, God, I could keep going back and back and back on how it started, but every little thing that I have done has just been a singular step. When I stopped eating meat and became vegetarian 25 years ago, it's not like I was a healthy vegetarian. It's not like I was a healthy eater. It was just that meat didn't work well in my stomach. I became a vegetarian. I took that step, and I had to adjust to all the difficulties of being a vegetarian 25 years ago. And then, it slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly got better, to the point that if you know me, you know my cooking, and you know my food, and you know what a healthy, clean eater I am. And now I'm vegan, and it took 25 years, that was a step-by-step approach. And I fast regularly, and I do all these things. But people look at me and they're like, wow, you do all the things. I could never do that. It's not about doing all the things that I do. It's about taking one step, taking action, and just being committed to that step in action. For me, I remember when I started meditating, it was like, okay, I'm going to meditate like 3 days out of the week. And then it became every day. And then I gave it all up. I stopped meditating for a while. I stopped meditating for like a decade. And then I came back to it. And it was a medicine journey and shadow work that brought me back to it, with a guide who told me, why don't you need to meditate? You need to do this. And that was the message that came to her, and I needed it. And I started slowly. I meditated for like 5 minutes every day, and it's been built up that now I can't even imagine my world without meditation, and I meditate as often as I can. So it builds, it starts one step at a time. So it's about taking a step. What step can you take to really, really shape your life and do the work and trust? Because when you take that step, you just trust that it is all working in your favor, because it is. It is. Today is Thursday. I came for my hike, my weekly hike. I installed this into my calendar because I need it, and I didn't get to do it last week, and my body was aching for it. and it's a freaking cold day. I was not expecting it to be this cold. I mean, it's cold on this mountain anyway, but it was really, really cold. And so my hike was shorter, and because I didn't want, like, I sat and meditated for a little bit, but usually I do a couple meditations and I sit and write and I do all sorts of things. Way too cold. My fingers froze right away, even with gloves, even with like hand warmers. It was just that cold. And so I had to come down the mountain quickly, but it turned out that that was what I needed. I felt alive on that mountain. I felt amazing. I saw all of this come together. I saw the signs that the universe was giving me. You know, I've been writing this book, and I'm writing 2 books, but like I have been working to get them done, and I just write a little bit every day, or like nearly every day. Just a little bit, not that much. And then it's like whatever podcast I'm listening to, whatever book I'm reading, whatever audiobook I'm listening to, I'm hearing messages that are like in line with what I'm writing, which is only confirming that I'm on the right path and I'm doing the work, and the universe is speaking to me and responding to me and listening and giving me insights and clues. We just have to listen. We just have to take action, and we trust. We trust, we trust, we trust. I have been speaking for a long time, so I'm going to leave you here. Trust, 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 trust. Trust in yourself. You are so worth it. You are capable of so much more than you know. And it's really up to us. If you've watched this far, you are ready to make a change, a step in your life in the direction that you want. All right. I'm sending you so much light and love. Bye.